Now, Charlie Kirk, a close ally of the US President Donald Trump, was shot dead while fielding questions at the Utah Valley University just one day prior to the 24th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. From gun violence to lone wolf attacks, the United States is battling a new war, and that is of homegrown terror and mass shooting attacks that have been witnessed over and over again in the United States. Our next report gets more details.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
On the 10th of September, 10 minutes post-noon, a shocking scene unfolded at the US Utah Valley University. Conservative activist and Donald Trump's close ally, Charlie Kirk, was shot dead in front of a stunned audience. The 31-year-old was taking questions at his Prove Me Wrong table, part of his nationwide American comeback tour. His wife and children were present at the event. A video from the event shows Kirk debating a student on mass shootings and transgender rights, and suddenly a single gunshot rang out.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
Kirk clutched his neck, collapsed from his chair, and chaos erupted.
Suddenly, it sounds like lightning. It was so loud, I thought the shooter was right there in the crowd, and apparently he wasn't. Apparently he was far off, and I hear this loud sound, and I'm like, that wasn't what I thought it was, is it? I was like, no, this can't be happening right now.
Kirk was immediately rushed to the Timpanogos Regional Hospital in critical condition. He was pronounced dead later in the afternoon. A spokesperson for the university said Kirk was shot from the roof of the school's Losse Center, a campus building 90 to 180 meters from the event area. The governor of Utah called it a political assassination. "31-year-old Charlie Kirk was a veritable rock star in conservative campus politics and a staunch, unapologetic Donald Trump loyalist who rose to fame when he co-founded, at the age of 18 years, the non-profit organization Turning Point USA in 2012. It aimed at spreading conservative ideals at liberal-leaning American colleges. In last year's presidential elections, Turning Point played an instrumental role in the Get Out the Vote effort for Trump and other Republican candidates, helping to register tens of thousands of new voters and flipping Charlie Kirk's home state of Arizona from blue in 2020 to red in 2024. Given his provocative, confrontational style of conservatism, the son of an architect who dropped out of a community college near Chicago to devote himself full-time to political activism had critics aplenty. A day before the 24th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, Charlie Kirk, an advocate of gun rights, was ironically shot dead while discussing gun violence, among other issues.
Take a look at what happened.
Kirk's killing is yet another episode of shocking gun violence in America. Remember last year Donald Trump, while campaigning, escaped an assassination attempt by a gunman in Butler, Pennsylvania. With over 300 mass shootings recorded this year alone, the United States is confronted with a war within. Unfortunately, guns have been woven into the very fabric of American culture and politics. The United States, a gun-obsessed nation of 330 million people, is awash with about 400 million guns. With more guns than inhabitants, the United States has the highest rate of gun deaths of any developed country. You may be surprised to hear that 75% of the world's 875 million guns are civilian controlled. 48% of these guns are in the United States, which has the highest rate of gun ownership in the world. More than half of American adults have experienced a gun-related incident. Those surveys have established that 57% of Americans are in favor of stricter gun laws. Policy paralysis regarding efforts to tighten gun control has endured for years. This year, on the 27th of August, 2 children were killed and 17 others, including 3 elderly parishioners, were wounded in a shooting at a Catholic school in Minneapolis, the largest city in the Midwestern US state of Minnesota. On the 28th of July, New York City, the most populous city in the United States, was jolted by its deadliest mass shooting in 25 years, in which 4 people were gunned down before the suspected gunman trained the gun on himself and died by suicide. From mass shootings to lone wolf attacks, America is witnessing a different face of terror. A lone wolf attack is a terrorist act committed by an individual or a small informal group acting without direct command or support from a formal terrorist organization. On the 1st of January this year, Shamsuddin Jabbar used a pickup truck to kill 15 people and injure 57 in New Orleans. He rammed the vehicle into a crowd of New Year revelers, followed by gunfire from the police before being killed. Jabbar, a US citizen from Texas, served in the military in Afghanistan. 24 years ago, the United States witnessed the most brutal terrorist attacks on its soil, the 9/11 attacks, a series of 4 coordinated attacks in 2001 when 19 Al-Qaeda terrorists hijacked 4 commercial airliners and used them to strike targets in the United States. Following 9/11, a global military campaign, War on Terror, was initiated by the United States to counter terrorism, eliminate the perceived threat of global terrorism. According to Pew Research in 2019, before the US withdrawal of forces from Afghanistan and the Taliban takeover, 35% of adults said domestic terrorism was a greater national problem than international terrorism. As per the US Department of Justice, while the multiple attackers were prominent in the pre-9/11 era, the single attacker rose to prominence after 9/11.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
With the recent Kirk incident, the big question surfaces again. How many more tragedies will the land of the free and the home of the brave endure before it arrives at the final, definite solution of stricter gun laws?
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.